Hi, Cutie Pies. It's Lanickia, and I am coming to you with season 3, episode 1 of Good Girls. It's called Find Your Beach. And it pretty much, this is going to be a quick review because it pretty much just catches us up on what's been going on. So we see that Beth is talking about the shock of someone dying because she shot Rio and she thinks he's dead, even though we know he's not. She thinks he is. And Beth works at like a card where they make cards, and I don't know what else they do there, but they sell little trinkets and all that kind of stuff, just like your Hallmark card store. But they can actually make it kind of like Paper Source. But anyways, Ruby is a nail tech, and she's doing like valet for cars and everything. So Beth sends Lucy, who is the girl who works with her, she sends her home so that Annie, and Ruby can work on their whole cards and like their whole money scheme and everything, because Beth feels like now that Rio's out the way, we can take over this fake money, and she feels like they can do it, they can create the money themselves, so they do. And so Ruby has to steal from the nail tech place, like she has to steal, I guess, the acetone or whatever that was. She has to steal that so they can help make the money and everything. So instead of getting out of this, like she had told Stan she was going to do last season, and instead of them just being like, okay, Rio's finally out of our lives, we can live normal lives, they actually get in deeper, I feel, into this because they're like voluntarily doing it on their own. So anyways, so she finally gets Lucy to leave so they can go in the back and they can work on this, and they start working on it. And Annie is the graphic designer for it. So then what they do, after they get it done and everything, and they're like, okay, it looks good, they take it to JT. Now JT, remember from last season, is the one that work at like a payday loan check cashing place. He works there where you can get loans and you can cash, those type of places. So he knows about everything they're doing because remember they robbed him last season, and he knows it's them. But anyway, so he's helping them, and he's like, this money is no good. Like, y'all, this doesn't look good. So he puts it in the machine that tells you if it's real or fake, if it's get approved or not. And it's denied because he told him it wasn't any good, or whatever, before they even started. Um, so then we see Stan. So Stan works at like a gentleman's club, and Ruby goes and she takes some lunch and everything, and she's very uncomfortable because the girls are very relaxed with, just their bodies. I mean, it's a gentleman's club. They're not, they're taking it off on stage. So they're walking around backstage with no clothes on. And there's one girl in particular named Crystal, who she doesn't know boundaries. She's young. I guess like they try to make her like an airhead. She doesn't know boundaries, so. But she doesn't like that Stan is working there. But Stan is like, it's for their daughter, to pay for her medicines and everything. So Beth has went and befriended Rio's child's mother, which her name is Ray. She's went, I guess, because she's feeling guilty about it. So that's her way of helping. I guess getting rid of some of the guilt by helping Ray. Um, so then we see that Turner goes to this hotel and he's delivering food to Rio. And so Rio is like, I guess, turning state. Is that what you call it? But anyways, he's giving up people and everything. Oops, sorry. Giving up people and everything. I guess helping Turner. Because remember last season, Beth shot him and she left him there because she thought she had killed him. But turns out he didn't die. He lived. And so, anyways, he's giving Turner names, about the organization and all that kind of stuff. So then we see a man named Kevin shows up at Annie's door. And it was just a weird episode. Like, they had met, they hooked up. He, I guess she told him where she stayed or whatever. And, but anyways, it was just weird. I don't know why they added that in. I guess because later on, because I have watched the other episodes. I guess because of that, they went ahead and added that in. Anyway, so Stan got cut on the face while he was guarding the mayor, because that's what they tell the children. That's what him and Ruby are telling the children that he does. He's guarding the mayor. But, So he got cut on the face because I guess somebody got rough with one of the girls at the gentleman's club, which just makes Ruby want him to quit even more. But they need the money. So then she tells him um, that what would he be okay if she could found a way to make money, but it would be bad, but it would help the family, and he could quit that. He wouldn't have to work where he's working now. So then they get together, they get with Lucy, and they make the money. And they convince her that they're doing it for this Gamblers Anonymous thing, and they're doing like this charity fundraiser or whatever. And anyways, they convince her that she's doing it. Now she did tell them that I don't know, because this could be counterfeit, like somebody in the wrong hands, somebody could do bad things with it. And they're like, girl, no. We'll put it on different paper or whatever. Because she came up with different suggestions, like different wording on the money that would let people know, you can't spend this. But they were like, no, we wanted to look exact, like, because they want to use $10 bills. They were like, we wanted to look exactly like the $10 bill. We'll just put it on different paper so that they can't use it. And she was like, okay, I'll work with that. So she does it. She's a great graphic art designer. So it looks really good. They take it back to the JT, who's at the cash payday loan place, and he's like, oh, this looks good, and it goes through. So the money is, they finally got the right combination with the money and everything. So then we see Beth's house. Like, if you look, okay, so we see Beth at home, right, and Ray's there. And if you look, like, it's not like Beth, because her house was a mess, and we're used to seeing Beth so Susie Homemaker, like her house always looks amazing. So I guess that they're trying to show us that she has all this turmoil on the inside. She's not even keeping her house right. So Rhea is there, and she's giving Rhea stuff. I guess I don't know if she thought she was poor. I don't know what Beth was thinking. Excuse me. But she's giving Rhea stuff so her son can be on the soccer team, and she's helped him. She helped get him on the soccer team, get him a spot. And Ruby and Annie show up, and they realize who she is, and they're like, Beth, what are you doing? Like, you can't do this. You can't be this close to her. And she just tells them that she feels guilty, and they were like, feel guilty, like release your guilt or relieve your guilt in a different type of way. But Beth. So then we see that Turner goes back to Rio. And Rio gives him some name. We don't know what name he gave him, but he gives him some name. And Turner's asking Rio, like, what do you want to do? Like, when this is all over, you can't just walk the street. So what do you want to do? And Rio says, oh, I want to go to a beach, sit in a chair and drink beer or something like that. Go to an island, sand and all that. And Turner was like, okay, we could do that or whatever. So then Turner shows up with Beth, and he just tells her, be good, like, stay out of trouble. And so now, mind you, they have perfected this money, so they have tons of $10 bills, fake money, but they start burning it because they were like, I don't know what he knows, but they didn't want to get in trouble again. Like, they don't want him on their case again. And so she knows she got away with it, or she believes she got away with it with him. So she's just like, excuse me. So she's just like, let's just let it go. We're just going to have to let it go. And, I know it's our mortgage. It's the medicines that, they need for Annie. It's a better life, but they're just going to have to let it go. Because Beth and Dean are behind on their mortgage, like, I think 3 or 4 months behind. So then, so then Annie talks to her son Ben, and he's just like, you're like a llama. You'll accept love for anyone. And she starts realizing that about herself, that I guess they throw in little scenes or whatever, but I guess that's something that, she's so desperate for love that he tells her, like, anybody that comes up and, gives you loves or shows you any type of appreciation or attention, You're so desperate for that love that you just accept it. And so she starts, feeling bad about herself because she realized that is true. And that's how she's been in these relationships in the past. That's how her relationships go. And then we see Crystal shows up at the house because, she wanted to, I guess she was the girl who some dude was messing with, and Stan is the reason why Stan got cut on the face. So she wanted to give him a gift basket, just a thank you or whatever. She shouldn't have came, but they're playing her off to be an airhead. So then she starts telling Ruby's daughter, who has to take these big, I guess, like horse pills. She's telling her how to relax her throat or whatever, and of course Ruby is just offended and appalled, and she's like, I have got to get like this medicine paid for so that my daughter doesn't have to be around these people. Stan doesn't have to be around these type of people. Like, I don't want my family around this. And so she calls, and unfortunately they can't pay for her. They can't pay for the medicine. Gwen says they're, going to overseas and she's about to lose her job. And Ruby's just like, oh, dang, Gwen, I feel bad for you because she was rude to Gwen on the phone. But anyway, so that's that. So then finds out that Beth needs money for the mortgage. And so Rio has set her up good, and she just keeps saying he's coming back. Now, I don't know if she really knew he was coming back. I don't know what she knows. But I don't think she knew anything about Beth, but it seemed like she knew something about Rio not being dead or whatever. But she just keeps, because of what she's saying and everything. So she's like, Beth keeps being like, well, what if he doesn't come back? And she says, oh, he always comes back. He's fine. It is fine. He's going to come back. And so she offers Beth the interest and stuff to pay on the mortgage so that they can they can keep their home. And so at first Beth didn't want to take it, of course, but then she decides to go ahead and take it. So then we see okay, so then we see Stan tells Ruby, because they're talking again, and she's just talking about how Gwen has got fired. They don't know what they're gonna do. And he tells Ruby, if you want me to quit the gentleman's club, because I know you're not comfortable with me there, what are we gonna do for money? Like, we need this money. I mean, I can quit, but we need the money. And she looks, because she knows they need that money, and he can't quit. So she's just gonna have to suck it up and deal with it. So then we see Annie is depressed, of course, because she realizes that she's kind of got like a codependency, and so she's depressed about it. Beth tells Dean that, the interest was paid, so they don't have to worry about the mortgage. I mean, they got to pay the mortgage and everything, but they're not going to lose the house. So then we see, okay, so then Turner goes, and I guess whoever Rio gave him the name, I guess he told him where they were and everything, because he goes with the I think FBI and everything. They have on their bulletproof vests, they have their guns drawn, and they go in, and it's nothing. There's nothing in the warehouse. Excuse me, no one's working in there. No one's doing anything in there. It was a complete waste of time. So of course they go back to their cars and everything, and they're defeated. They're feeling bad, and they start taking off their bulletproof vest. And so then, once they got them off, this black van pulls up. Excuse me. This black, oh my gosh, y'all. I went outside today, and my car is like covered in, excuse me, pollen, and now my eyes are like itchy and everything. But I'm gonna have to go outside later on because I have to run errands. But so I'm just gonna have to suck it up. But yeah, so sorry, that's the coffee and everything. It's just the pollen just gets to me every season. Every spring season. But anyways, so then this black van pulls up, right? And they open up the doors and they have guns drawn. And Turner turns around and the look on his face is just like, he's just like, oh my God. Because in that moment, he realized Rio has set him up. So then we see Rio, who Turner has been keeping in a hotel room. And I don't even think Turner let anybody know that he had Rio. which is the messed up part. So then Rio checks out of the hotel and just walks off to freedom because he set Turner up. So now they go back to the scene with Turner, and he's on the ground dead because, he's been shot. And so that's how, wait, let me see. Yeah, yeah. So that's pretty much how season 3, episode 1 ended, with Turner being set up and they shot. And I didn't like Turner, but I thought he was an interesting character on here, and I would have liked to see it go somewhere, or I would have liked to see something else happen with it. But I'm not a writer, I don't know. But that's how it ended, with him just realizing, dang, I got set up by Rio, and Rio walking away free. So now Beth, because she thinks he's dead, they all think he's dead. They realize, they're gonna realize that no, he's not dead, or whatever. So that was season 3, episode 1 of The Good Girls. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. If you don't have to go anywhere, try to stay in. I personally try to stay in as much as possible. Like if I just have to leave the house, like today, I have to leave the house, so I'm going, and then I'm coming right back in, washing up and everything. So anyways, guys, enjoy the rest of your day.